Guild Wars 2, a free-to-play MMORPG set in Tyria, released in 2012, has 3 expansions with a 4th on the way, and it's a game I regret not playing until now. I've played my fair share of MMORPGs, but I've grown dissatisfied with the genre over the years. A stale scene that hasn't offered anything new in over a decade for me to invest in. Guild Wars 2, on the other hand, has provided me with the sensation of a cool, refreshing breeze on a hot summer day. But we've come here tonight not to hear my thoughts on the game and what it does best, but to immerse ourselves in the lore and the secrets we didn't know about until now. The Revenant is one of 9 classes capable of channeling Mist's power and communicating with both deceased heroes and villains. I won't go into detail regarding what the Mist is right now, but expect a video about it as it's such an important part of Guild Wars' overall story. The player Revenant has the ability to channel 7 deceased legendary individuals who played extremely important roles in the Guild Wars universe, one of whom is the person responsible of the existence of the now playable race, the Sylvari, an elder Maguma centaur named Ventari. Ventari was a proud warrior who fought humans throughout his youth, but over time, he grew to detest the violence that engulfed the 2 species. In the arid tops of the Maguma jungle, he eventually set up camp beneath the largest stonewood tree. However, in 1072 after Exodus, violence engulfed his home once more in the form of the Crichton Civil War. Ventari fled south to the Tarnished Coast, where he met a human named Ronan. Ronan, unlike Ventari, has a tragic backstory. Ronan was a Shining Blade member around 250 years ago during the Crichton Civil War. While separated from his patrol, he came across a cavern filled with mysterious seeds. He grabbed the fist-sized seed and fled the war to show his daughter, but it was not to be. When he returned, the village had been destroyed and his family had been murdered by the Musat. Normally, this would have triggered a never-ending chain of vengeance, but for Ronan, it was a turning point. He swore on their names and planted the seed as a sign of commitment on their graves. Ronan and Ventari met around this time. Sharing similar values on peace and friendship, they both established new goals, tending to the seed that would eventually grow to become the Pale Tree and their safe haven near the ocean that attracted many with similar virtues at the time, and that would later become the Grove. Ventari's tablet would be embraced as the work of a prophet, a sacred artifact, when the Pale Tree awakens 23 years prior to the Guild Wars 2 events. Something akin to the 10 Commandments of Judaism and Christianity, which the Sylvari will be taught to follow. What many people may not realize is that the Pale Tree was not the only seed Ronan had snatched from that bleak cavern. Malak, also known as the Harbinger by the Nightmare Court, is a mysterious Sylvari being pursued by the Nightmare Court. Malak is a character in the personal story of Sylvari characters who have chosen Ventari's teaching, where life goes, so should you, as the most important. Captain Banaya of the Wardens finds Malak wandering the forest injured and takes him to Phalias Thorpe, where he begins learning about the world around him. Banaya was kind to Malak, giving him weapons and teaching him how to defend himself. The Nightmare Court, a Sylvari organization whose members reject Ventari's teachings, learns about Malak and demands that the Wardens hand him over. While the Wardens swore to protect the innocent, such as Malak, this enraged the Nightmare Court, who then besieged the camp and ambushed and kidnapped several Wardens, including Benaya. To my understanding, Malik is a newborn Silvari, and Benaya seems to be one of the first individuals to come close to Malik. Malik despised the Nightmare Court after witnessing their brutality against Benaya and his friends, and wished for them to all die for causing them pain. To summarize, word of the Nightmare Court's attacks reaches the Grove. Trahan and the Valiant offer to assist the Wardens and thwart the Nightmare Court's plans, only to discover that Malik not only has no idea what the Dream of Dreams is, but is also not from the Grove. After Trahan, the Valiant, and Malik fought back the forces of the Nightmare Court, Malik decides to leave the Sylvari of the Grove and head west into the heart of Maguma to discover his origins and protect his secrets from the Nightmare Court. Malik promised everyone who helped him at the Grove that he would return and help them fight the dragons one day, and I fully expected to run into him again as I progressed through the first expansion of Guild Wars 2, Heart of Thorns. Given the turn of events and Mordrum's influence over the Sylvari, I was expecting the worst. I expected to learn that Malik, like the rest of the Sylvari who lacked stronger individualistic personalities, had fallen under the influence of the dragon Mordrum, or that Malik had always been a part of Mordrum's main army. But, based on what I've heard so far, his role in Heart of Thorns was cut short. But who knows? Perhaps Malik will keep his word, and we'll see him again in Guild Wars 2 upcoming expansion, or many years later in Guild Wars 3. Regardless, I look forward to meeting our dear friend Malik once again. Thank you for sticking with me until the end. If anyone is interested in checking out Guild Wars 2 and finding someone to play with, the community and I have formed a guild to welcome all. And in the next video, I'll go over a very specific but beloved spirit animal. I'm looking forward to it.